Okay, let me get my mic back on. I'm going to go ahead and put some more score tape on the top of this. There we go. There we go. Now that puppy's not going to go anywhere. Now, was I going to do this? Or was I going to do this? I was going to do this. Yes, I love this side, and I really didn't get much chance to use it. So, and I don't think I'm going to do anything in the front cover. I could put a flap, but oh my Lord, I have no paper left. Wow. I have this piece of green, and I have this piece of gray, and a few other pieces of gray. So I guess I could put a small flap on here, but then what the heck am I going to cover it with? Decisions, because I would definitely want to put this down before I put this down. I would want to go ahead and put this down. So, do I have enough paper? See, I think I was going to, can I use that there? No, it's not quite long enough. So I guess I could put this here and have it sitting on there. That's a lot of writing, no. Let's see, what else do I have? What else do I have? I have this. But that, I don't know. That might not be too bad. I don't think I want it. I think I want to make it a good size for a photo, front and back, and maybe even I could do a pocket. Okay, so that's what we're going to do on this side. I'm going to, so this needs to be 4.5 over, so 5 inches. So measure your piece over 5 inches and cut. You know, this isn't the whole page. This is about the same size as the pages, so that's fine. But we're going to measure over 5 inches and cut this down. And that does not look straight at all. Let's see. No, that's straight. That's straight. And that is straight. And yep, it's square. Just didn't look it. And then let's get our scoreboard out. And on the 5-inch side, I'm going to put this back on here so I don't stick myself to it. And give us a little score line there. And we're going to make the valley into a mountain. Burnish the crease. There we go. And then we're going to put that, I think, even with the bands that are on the end of the book here that we did, I think I'm going to even that with that. But then how is this going to fit? Perfect. Yeah. That'll be just right. Okay. And I'm going to cut my edges because I want to cut down on the amount of bulk right at the end, so it helps hide some of the mechanics that's going into this. Oh, my hand is all over the place. Wah! Well, alrighty, here we go. And I want to centralize. I want to centralize. Oh, good Lord. Top and bottom. That looks pretty good right there. Pretty darn good. Get that burnished down. Okay. Keep that nice and crisp and clean right there. I had a little bit of glue spillage out the front. Okay. Now, open that up. Let's ink our paper. And with this lighter piece, I am getting it a little bit onto the front of it just to give it just a little bit of a shadowy effect right there. So the contrast isn't quite as abrupt. All right, let's put this, glue this down. Okay. Okay. Here we go. I just love seeing that those little edges on the book. I just love that. I've not seen anybody do this before, but that doesn't mean anybody has. And it's not like, you know, somebody thought of it because I saw it on that shirt. Just, you know, different craft type, but let's make sure we get our corners and our edges all taken care of. And really work it around that lump. I'm trying not to get a fold in the paper while I'm working around that little bit of a lump there from my ribbon, but I definitely want to get that paper glued down well around that. All right. So there, now we have our flap. And I do have plenty of strips that I can make pockets out of. And I still have these, so I can do something with these on the back. Yeah. I'll do something with these on the back. Let's see, this piece, will that be large enough? I can make it large enough. I think this piece will be good. I am whittling away at my scraps. Just using what I've got. Making it work. So I am going to, because this is a little shorter than I actually need, I'm going to only go over 3/8 instead of a 1/2 inch. and I'm going to put it up and keep it, a 1/16 of an inch away from the actual fold of the flap, just so we don't add any more thickness than we need. And then I'm going to make a mark where I want the other score mark to be. And it's a little over 3/8. It's right in between the 3/8 and the 1/2 inch mark. So that's very good. Now let's line it up with this end of the paper, and that should put you over where you need it to be over here. Very good. We're going to clip the tops down a little bit. And let's put this down. I was getting a bubble on my glue. Bubble on my glue, bubble on my glue. Hi ho Mario, bubble on my glue. Oh, it's pretty bad. Pretty bad. Everybody getting a little bit of cabin fever. I know I am. You guys are my saving grace. Got somebody to come in and talk to. Somebody to come in and talk to. And there we go. Let's burnish this down. All right. Oh, get that out of there. Okay. A little bit of glue. There we go. Now we got a nice pocket in there. We can put a whole picture right in there, just like that. Isn't that going to be pretty? And then we'll have a nice little decoration on the front of the pocket, because we have plenty of room here in between. We can put a little something over on this side. Don't want to add any more to this side of the pages. Don't need any more thickness there. So we can add it from here to here. We can add some good stuff. Something. A flower. Whatever. And then I'm going to leave this plain. I just love it. I can't cover it. And then I'm going to patchwork this one. This will all be probably all patchworked, I believe. I believe. But I think the next thing I need to do is this, before I get too far down into the amount of paper I have. And then the last thing I do is I will be filling my, and I kind of want to have my bow up here on the top. This is such pretty ribbon. It's really going to add a nice feature. Isn't that pretty? I just love that. Yeah. I am very, very, very happy with how this is turning out. Very, very happy. Okay. I'm just going to go through, guys. I'm not going to bring you along with me on just paper piercing and stuff. And I will bring you back to do the front cover. Okay? Thank you, guys. And if I do anything really weird or fun, I don't know. Let's see. Let me at least go over what I might do with this. So first thing I need to do is establish a straight line and cut that off. So let's see here. There we go. There's one side. Oops, careful, careful. And here is the other side. And I have to be really careful. I don't want to cut that one butterfly off of there. Isn't that pretty? I just got that one little... There we go. Okay. So that's nice. And do the same thing with this one. Okay. A little snippet. There we go. Okay. Now that these are not exactly matching up, but that's okay. If we were to put a hinge on these and intertwine them a little bit, and I can bring it in. Okay, I'm going to put a hinge on these, but again, I'm going to go for a 1/4 inch and an 1/8 of an inch more. So I'm going to score it at 1/4, and then I'm going to score it at 3/8. And so that will give us enough to give us a little bit of room for whatever we end up sticking in there. Okay. And then we're just going to, let's see, fold. There we go. It's easier when there's only one. There we go. Now we're cooking with some gasoline. There we go. So we found the house that my son wants to, a second one that my son wants to get. And he put in an offer yesterday, and we haven't heard from the realtor. So everybody's kind of on pins and needles. Yeah. Everybody's on pins and needles. Because it would be nice, because he doesn't have a whole lot of wiggle room with the offer that he made, and it is less than what the buyer is looking for, but you know, we'll see. We told the realtor, so, you know, tell him it's a young man starting out fresh, first house, maybe it'll sway him a little bit. I know we've had that tactic used on us with a new family. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing here. 1/4 inch. And then 3/8. And let's flip it and actually get some kind of score line on there, so it's a little easier to keep it neat and tidy. Okay. Don't bend your butterflies. Now, if you don't have this, you just make plain ones. You can take some of your cards, do a bifold, and just put one of your cards over the front, and you can, you know, close it up that way, but with a magnet. And I'm meaning cards like, you know, like one of these, and just, you know, lay it on the front, and then you'll have, that will be your closure. So let's see how big these two are. Okay, so if I touch them up together which they are 2 different sizes, it's 6 inches pretty much. So that will work out very nicely for cards. For photos, for cards. Now let's, getting that other little 1/8 of an inch. Alrighty. Oops. Okay. There we go. Now, let's see first what I can do if I do this, and I just kind of butt them up with just a little bit of an opening, such as that. That is 6, almost 6.5. 6 1/4. So I think if I do 6-inch pieces of paper, I will probably be fine. And I believe I am going to take, let's see, I think I'm just going to take a piece of white cardstock, just plain old white cardstock. Let me find a piece of plain old white cardstock. Where are you? There we go. And let me see what pieces I have. I'm going to move my book out of the way. My pretty, pretty book. I love my book. Okay. So let's see what I have here. Okay, so I have this square. I have 2 of those. I have that and that. That is probably the only pieces I have besides the whole sheet. So if I can use those up. Now I might, this one is not quite really large enough to do much of anything. So I think I'm going to keep this for a tag. I'm going to put that in there for tag. And let me see what I can do with this. How wide is this one? Okay, so that is 6 1/4. So that could be my base, although it's not quite large enough. Let me cut this at 6 1/4. Okay, and let's see. I'm just gonna kind of pick a spot to put right now, just to make it so it's at least smaller than my page, so that I can kind of play around and see what I've got here. Let's see. So if I put this one down here, let me make, I'm gonna take just a smidge off this, just a smidge, like a 1/8 of an inch, so that it's a little smaller, but not much, but at least it's a little smaller. I'm going to put a score on the side I did not cut down, because I think this is 6 1/8 by 6 1/4. Well, minus, yeah, it's just past 6 1/8, so it's almost a square. And I'm going to do a 1/2 inch for a nice hinge. I'll pull my book back over just for a moment so that I can make sure. See, this paper should be inside this one. Yes, it is. So it's just a little smaller than our little doodad here, and that is going to be fine. Yeah. So as long as I can cover this white sheet, I will be fine. And it's blue paper, but it doesn't really matter. It don't really matter. Okay. So, I think I'm going to put this where I can see. Is this square? Hold on. That is. That is not. And then let me see this side. Yep. And this side. Yep. Okay. So now let me see. Good Lord, I cannot seem to make that go in the center without it being off somewhere. Okay, I'm going to cut a little bit more off. And then I'll give you a measurement. Okay. All right. So there we go. All righty. So this is, and just use your pieces, but this is 6 inches, so it's 5 1/2 after your fold by 6 1/8. Okay. It might be a little shorter than 6 1/8, but not much. So there is that first piece. And I'm thinking I probably need to cover this with something. I think, let's see, I think I have, I'm going to pull out another sheet from here because I am really running low and you're not going to see much of this. Let's see, what do I want? How many of this one do I have left? Because I don't want to use, see, I only have one of those, so I don't want to use that one. Yeah, that was one of my faves. You know what? I think I'm going to use this one. I don't have this in the book anywhere, but I kept contemplating putting it in the book. Because it's got all the right colors, and it's got some blue. There we go. It's got a little bit of blue, it's got the green, and it's got grays and browns. So I'm thinking I'm just going to completely cover the white here. So let's cut right there. And that'll give me a little bit more paper to deal with. But I'm gonna try and not get into this paper anymore so that okay, so there's that. And I want that to be cut right there. Perfecto. Let's go ahead and get the edges. I actually don't need that now that I'm doing this. So I'm not going to waste my white paper. And then if I put this underneath, let's see how I will end up. Yeah, that's going to look good. And then that'll open up and that'll open up. Yeah, okay. So we're good. This is perfect. So this is 6 3/16 by 8 3/8. Boop, boop. Okay, so I have this one, which is going to cover the majority of this page. Cover the majority of this page. Yes. And then I have this one, which I think I will have like this. And then I have these two tiny ones. And I might as well use them. And let's put them here. That's kind of an interesting concept. And then maybe just one over the top and come down. Okay, so I am going to use some of this. And I think I'm going to cut this the same size as my paper here. Maybe just a little bit, very tiny bit. Not where you're going to really be able to see the edges of the bottom paper. Where are you here? And I'm going to go ahead and cut that. And that'll leave me a nice one for another big tag or something to that effect. A little pencil mark. All right, and then across the short end on one side, I'm going to give myself a 1/2 inch. All right. And I probably would close this up with a magnet to keep it nice and neat and clean. So I'm just going to line this up. Let's see, do I have that straight? It is straight. As low as it'll go. Okay, pinch it, bring it around, open your flap, and let's get, oh, come on now. I guess I walked away and left my, there we go. Let me go ahead and trim the corners off. Anytime you want to hide the mechanics behind stuff, you just cut those corners off. And then just fold that over. Burnish. And that is nice and straight. Good. Did I squeeze out any more glue? No. Okay, then we're going to flip that up. And I'll put these two just below the top. There we go. And this one. Just use what you have, you know? Just use what you have. Okay, I believe that's fairly straight. Yes, we're good there. And then I'm going to put this one down. Well, actually, I didn't want to cut that. Well, I'll go ahead and cut this one. Because I'm going to put, you know, this paper on it. So I could have just left it straight. And it's not like I'm going to build up a bunch of bulk or anything. So this one, I am going to center it. Maybe a little over, whoops, too far. I didn't think it was going to slide that easily, but it did. So there we go, right in the center there. Sometimes using your scraps makes something come out that you would have never thought to do in reality. And I think that will look good right there. I'm just going to put just a little line right there for myself. And then I'm going to have to go and feed my puppies and my adult family. Because it is about that time. So I'm going to come over just a titch more. And I just butted it right up against this one. Open this up. Pencil mark erased. All right. And then we're going to open the flap up and put glue on the inside first flap, the 1/4 of an inch. And I got a little bit into the hinge, so I'm going to just wipe that off. There we go. And we're going to put that right down on this paper, and we have to even it top and bottom, because don't get it into the score line, because this paper with the butterflies on it is slightly longer I should say, than this piece. So this piece with the butterflies on it, and I'm using as the cover and closure, is slightly taller. It's like a 1/16 of an inch on the top and the bottom. And then of course you've got the 1/8 of an inch gusset, so that everything will fit in there nicely. I'm going to do the same thing on this one. Try and keep it out of the score line area. And Get your 1/8 of an inch on the top and the bottom. Come here. Don't get into your fold line. Make sure you're going to fold over nicely. Oh, and then I pulled it right off. Sometimes this is where if you have score tape and you want to do score tape, but then you get you get very little wiggle room. And when you're dealing with little differences in, now come here, there, and there. Just have to be commanding and tell it, you will listen to me. You will follow my commandments. Oh, good Lord. And then that is pretty stinking cool. I like that. That's going to be a nice addition into the book. And I'm thinking that I would really love to have these butterflies covered with decorative paper. And so I believe, nope, that one's not it. This is it right here. Yeah. So I think I'm going to do this with the birds. I just want to make sure I've got it going in the right direction. And I don't know if I can get 2 out of one a piece of paper or not. I might be able to. So let me run this through, and I am going to run this through, and then I'm going to go take care of dinner, guys. So I will be back, and we will install this and do the front cover, and we should be done. Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you in a minute. Okay, glue gun's ready. So I am going to start by putting this lace right down here. I think that looks really pretty with that. And I'm just going to put a little bit here just to get it started. Let that dry just a minute. I'm going to take my regular glue and put this down. Now this, I will tell you in a few minutes. This is going to take forever. I should have done this prior to getting on, because this is going to require lots of glue, little dots. So I'm not squeezing my glue, I'm just kind of playing around with whatever comes out via, sorry, I mean, it's not very exciting, but you'd probably rather see what I'm doing than Oop. So my mother's house is closing on Tuesday. My brother been working on that, and then that is, as far as we know, it. Their estate will be closed, and man, I don't know. I'll be glad that it's done, but it's just kind of a funny thing, funny feeling, a little melancholy about it, I guess, if anybody's heard that word in a long time. Okay, so Just want to make sure that I've got it nice and straight, and I don't want to push any glue out on my cover. So I'm hoping I didn't over glue. And usually when you've got to do that kind, usually most of it dries up. So it doesn't spread too much. And I probably go ahead and cut this. There we go. Excuse the reach. Now, let's see. Now, if you don't have a hot glue gun, Fabri-Tac, I almost started using this, and I thought, no, for time's sake, because I'm videoing this, I will use a glue gun. So, I have had so much fun with this book. This book is really kind of out of my circle of normal things that I do, but I really like it. I hope you guys do too. It was a lot of tutorials to get you through it though, but I appreciate if you guys are working on this. And remember, you can do this with any paper. Any paper. Just follow the tutorial and then follow the tutorial and then do your own paper. Come on, are you coming out at all? There it is. Great big old glob. Burn fingers, burn fingers. Okay. All right. Yeah, that got cut. Okay, so there's that part. This picture is actually from the cover. I had originally cut out one of the pictures from the paper. And but I like this one better with this color than this one. So you guys can choose whatever way you want to do it. And I thought because of the finish on it, because it was from the front cover, it just makes it look a little bit more, I don't know, like it's framed. Now, I do have a second frame that I could put down and make it look a little different, but I kind of like the pink with this instead of that, because this is totally different. You know, I mean, the colors are all there, but it's totally different. So I'm going to glue this down, and I think even though you're not going to see it, where's my, there it is. I'm just gonna, I'm just running that around. I don't want, you know, just in case, I don't want you to be able to see white edges. And I did already kind of do it on the frame, but it was really hard, so I kind of gave up. Okay. Just have to keep maneuvering it till you get it inside the lines and lined up properly. There we go. I believe. Yep. Yeah. Okay. All right. So now, I got a couple of these. Ugh. I hate glue guns. Absolutely hate glue guns. And I'm just going to lay those where there's one kind of coming up this way. And one kind of coming out over this way. Just a nice little spray. And then I'm going to take this. Isn't that beautiful? I got that for birthday or Christmas one year. And I'm quite excited to be able to use it. I've used it on my little, on one of my little girls that I made for my best friend's wall. And I made part of her dancing outfit. She was like a ballerina or something, and I used that as part of the dancing outfit. Just getting some of this clump of glue. I think this is why I like Fabri-Tac. Well, I probably just used too much of this. I didn't want to glue those down. Just glue that down. Okay. And then we'll get this little section. Alrighty. Okay. Alright. Now, I have a butterfly. Let me just see, and then I've got this flower here. One there, here. Huh. Where do I want it? And I've got these little doodads. And these little doodads. Let's just play around with this till we get it where we want it. And then bring this down here. Switch this around. Let's put the leaf on the bottom. Bring the flower around. I can't see what I'm doing from down here. I gotta stand up. Let's see. No, I don't like that. Let's see. I wonder if I would like the butterfly. Maybe the butterfly over here. I'm not sure I like these maroon ones. They won't let me lay them the way I want to lay them. I think I'm going to have to cut some of these pearls off, because that's what's getting in my way. Okay. See, I'm not very good at this. That's why I usually don't do these. Usually do not do these, because flowers just are not my thing. Okay, well, I kind of like that. It's all bundled. I don't know if I should try and stretch it out just a little bit more. Oh, now just to try and get it like that. Let's put this one on first. And then I can put that in there. Okay, see how we have these. The glue gun does help it to help these roses to lay down better. So, let's see. Try and give that stem a little bend. Shorten it up. Let me see. Okay. Okay. Well, I like that. Now I have a couple of these pearls. I think I will just stick them in a couple spots without burning my finger, preferably. Let's just do a little glue. And stick that in there. Okay, I had a couple other things I wanted to put in there. I'm going to put one of these at least. Well, I mean, I can see how you would just keep going and going and going, but I did cut this out. Yeah, I think I'll put this down. All right, guys, I think I'm done. If I add any more, I'll show you when I do the walkthrough. Okay? Talk to you later. Thanks for watching. We're done. Woohoo!